I am in El Salvador. I'm actually in one of the Colonias, the Pueblas, the places they tell tourists not to go. I am in one of the Colonias, the Pueblas of El Salvador, the exact place they tell tourists not to go because they're supposedly unsafe. This one seems fine. Anyhow, today we're gonna talk about renting a car in El Salvador because it's not like anywhere else. In fact, that's my rental car. Take a look at this beauty. It is a relatively new 2012 Mitsubishi Galant, but it looks like it's 100 years old. It is beat up in every single body panel. Jesus. That's why they tell tourists not to come here. It has literally got damage on every single body panel. It's been totaled. It feels like it. It drives like it. It seems like it's missing motor mounts. It seems like everything is pretty much wrong with it. Even the door panels are barely attached. If you're wondering why there's toilet paper on the seats, gotta visit some Latin American countries. They don't give it to you here. Okay, check it out. Door panel is completely coming off. Oh, jeez. This car has been through the ringer. Dashboard is in pieces and stuff like that. It's a disaster. Now, let me explain why. Okay, so I tried to rent a normal from a normal rent-a-car like Budget or all these places. Nobody had cars for me here in El Salvador. And mind you, I was looking in San Salvador, the capital. So it's like the main city. I wasn't trying to rent it here in the Pueblas. Okay, so now if they don't have any cars for you, what do? You talk to people. It's a very informal country. You literally just talk to people, and sooner or later someone says, I got a car for you. It's happened twice. The first person never came through though. The second person said, yeah, I got a car for you. Give me $75 cash. You can have it for 3 days, which is what I needed it for. And here it is. This is the car. Literally, I gave her cash. She took a photo on her phone of my driver's license, which is a United States driver's license, so there's not really much repercussion. And there's not really much else. She handed me the keys. There's no specific rental insurance, there's no agreement, there's no deposit. She didn't take it on credit card. I paid cash. Literally, she just handed me the keys to her car. Now mind you, this car ain't worth very much. I mean, well, look at it. But it's actually a 2012 with 85,000 miles on it. I can't figure out how it's in such bad condition. The motor mounts are gone. If you exceed about 60, 65 miles an hour, when it tries to shift into fourth gear, the whole car starts vibrating violently. I don't know why, but if you keep a normal speed, it's fine. There's only hubcaps on one side of the car, which doesn't really interest me that much, except for what I noticed when I was looking at the hubcaps. There are no weights on any of the wheels, meaning they're completely unbalanced, which is why this car vibrates so violently, probably, or at least one of the reasons. I mean, the cars here in general are really crazy ghetto. I mean, like, people repair things similar to the way they do in Cuba, but in Cuba they take a base car from the 1950s and 60s that's beautiful, and they keep it running indefinitely. They do that here to ugly cars from the 80s and 90s, or in this case, it's the 2012. Although honestly, you can't tell. I mean, there's not even the sprayers. It's missing the sprayers. The front windshield is permanently etched in the shape of the windshield wiper thing. Headlights are useless. You can barely see a thing out of them, literally. At night, it's totally dark here. There are no lights in the streets in a lot of places. And there also are no markings, lane markings. A lot of the places, there are literally no lane markings. So you got a two-way street, cars coming at you, everyone drives with their high beams on around here, and you can't see a thing. It's terrifying. Honestly, driving here at night with a car with bad headlights is terrifying. It's not the streets here, it's the car. Okay, the streets here would be fine if it had normal headlights, but it's common for other cars not to have any lights. If you drive about 1 hour, a length of time at night, about 1 hour, you'll probably pass at least 5 to 10 cars that don't have any lights operating. Literally no headlights, no taillights, nothing. Driving at night, I saw a motorcycle without a taillight on the highway. Oh my God. How the heck do they survive? I don't know. Literally, you don't see him until you're right up on him because this car has no headlights and he's got no taillight, and he's a little thing in the middle of the road of a highway. This place is pretty insane to drive if you have no headlights. Otherwise, it's probably fine. I'm from New York, mind you, so my bar might be a little higher of how crazy it can get while it's still okay. But still, that's what it is. Now, renting a car here is super informal. Give the person cash. They hand you the keys, you drive away in their car, you bring it back when you want. The only contact info she has for me is literally my WhatsApp. That's it. I'm supposed to message her when I want to give the car back and give her. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Literally everything is wrong with this car, though. It's fascinating, actually, how they managed to destroy that much in a car in approximately 8 or 9 years. I mean, even this panel over here is coming apart. Check out the trunk. They replaced the springs in the trunk. This is kind of comical. Oh, it's really heavy to pick up. If I just touch it here, watch what happens. Now, if you actually give it any force closing, forget it. Like, the whole car smashes down. The shocks that they switched it with are way, way, way too strong for that trunk. So anyway, that's about it. The car makes every form of noise when you drive, crackling around. Everything's moving around. The seats are torn. Honestly, how do you do that? I thought it was a taxi, like a used taxi cab when I first rented it. Like, how in the world did they beat up a car this fast? But then I saw it has only 85,000 miles, so that's not even possible. The interior lights don't work either, which is why it's so dark inside the car. The tinted windows are kind of nice because it's so sunny here, but at the same time, it makes it yet harder to drive at night. I mean, it's limo black tinted. Lots of the cars here have actually limo black tinted windshields, and then they make cutouts in them in different shapes. The Apple symbol seems to be pretty popular here, but I've seen a bunch of shapes. So they could see out like a little porthole in the front window. It's kind of crazy. I don't know how people drive like that. That seems like a little bit much to stare through a porthole in the middle of your windshield. I've seen tractor trailers with that, like big rig trucks. It's pretty crazy. So anyway, this is how you rent a car, or I don't know if this is how, but this is how I rented a car here in El Salvador. And come on out to the Pueblas if you feel comfortable doing that. I mean, I think it's cool. I don't know if this is for everybody, honestly. It's a little sketchy, but it seems fine to me. So anyway, don't take my word for it. Do your own research and decide for yourself if you're comfortable traveling here. I mean, I've been all around the world, and honestly, I don't know what to expect. It's pretty cool, though, I gotta say. A few things about the inside that are worthy of note. None of the lights work on the dash. They kind of light up. Like, if I put the headlights on, you can sort of see it. Every single error message on the dashboard is lit up, every single last one. Actually, when I picked up the car, it had no fuel in it, so I had the gas light on also. And it was literally everything. Interior lights don't work anywhere. None of the ceiling lights work. None of the electrics work. Cruise control doesn't work. About the only two things that are electric that do work, actually, and they work, is the radio and the air conditioning. Air conditioning kind of works. The problem is when you put it on, it doesn't do it always. Let's see if it does it right now. Yeah, it's doing it. The car starts vibrating violently. Like, you could see the passenger side mirror. Look how much that's shaking, that's vibrating. There's something in the compressor clutch. I'm gonna shut it because it's noisy. There's something in the compressor clutch that's causing the engine to vibrate violently when you put the air conditioner on it. I don't know what it is. If you shift it, like, I don't know. Forget it. It's garbage, dude. It's garbage. This car is junk. But it's still fun to drive around El Salvador. Come on out here. Check us all out. It's super fun. If you rent a car, have low expectations. I mean, this is totally normal here. This is what it is. I mean, this is El Salvador. It's a beautiful country. You got people like that walking around with stuff on their heads. I mean, that's super cool. You don't see that every day. I mean, maybe you do. Maybe you're in a country that they have that. You definitely don't see that in the United States, though. So, I mean, safety rules here are like non-existent. You kind of do what you want, and driving-wise, I'm talking about. There are people in the backs of pickup trucks. Actually, there's one right there passing me in the distance. I don't know if you can see that. It's totally common to just have people hang out in the back of your pickup truck. So forget seatbelts. That's just not enforced at all. Forget any driving safety things. You kind of do what you want as long as you're doing what you can to be safe. The road rules are pretty much non-existent here. But, you know, expect a car that has safety issues. Like, this one has no headlights. I got into an Uber car that had no seatbelts. The freaking seatbelts didn't work. It had the belts, but they were stuck. They were in a fixed position. They were unmovable. So, and the SRS airbag light was on the car too, so there's not even the airbag. You don't even have the secondary restraints. This car, I don't know if they're gonna work, the airbags. Who knows? I'm hoping. I'm not planning on needing them, so we'll see where that goes. I mean, you could see this car's been repaired actually from the inside of the car. If I lower the window, you see even that mirror has been stuck on with like some kind of putty, and those screws that you saw aren't on the driver's side, so they're an afterthought to get it to stay on the car. Anyway, on boiling up because the compressor doesn't really work in the car. Like an air conditioner half works. Oh man, this car's a dud. It looks like someone gave birth in the back seat. I mean, that that seat is stained to heck, man, and it's torn up. God knows what took place there. All right, that's it, I'm done. Well, it's the next day, and apparently I spoke too soon yesterday, because when I said every dashboard light was on, I was wrong. Because today, every dashboard light really is on. Now I have the battery light on also. It just started up like that. I don't really know what changed or what happened. And I've literally pulled out of my driveway and drove maybe a minute or so, and then the radio shut off by itself and has some message saying ECOM, which I'm gonna guess is a communication failure. So I've got no radio either. I didn't mention it yesterday, but the mirror, the electric mirrors never worked. Literally nothing is working right now except the air conditioning that half works with a compressor that causes the car to vibrate, the compressor clutch. So electric's completely off. This is a full manual car. Everything is wrong. Even the rear view mirror has like leaking, the crystal, whatever that stuff is, the mirror, the mercury, whatever that stuff is leaking out of it. Literally every last thing on this car is messed up. However, I do find it comical. Check out the keychain. Report after flight, remove before flight. I'm gonna guess that was stolen off of an airplane. I think it's super cool. I'd like to keep that one. I don't think they're gonna, the person who rented me is gonna let me though. It's a cool keychain. But anyway, that's all. Just want to update. Officially, every last thing on this car is broken. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Yeah, it's like a minute after I just did the other video. This is not a good car. Update. It don't start. That's it. I stopped to make this video. Battery's totally dead. Hear the ticking? Doesn't work. So you know when the battery light goes on, usually it's a good idea to take that seriously. I'm stuck here. That's it. So much for this rental car. You got the experience. I did get a good 312 miles in. Interestingly enough, the gauge does work, the mileage gauge. So I got 312 miles on this car, and I literally just drove it this morning a minute ago into this parking lot. Okay, which is only like a minute or two drive. So it did start a minute ago, put it into here and shot the video, and then went to go drive away. Whole car is dead. So I just texted the owner. I don't really know what we're gonna do because I paid her cash for the, and I got one more day left. But hey, so what? You know, it is what it is. Not a lot of money. But this car is dead, and that's the end of the video. I did coax the windows to close. They went up really, really slow, slowly. So I guess power windows work in this car, but nothing else works. It's done. Story's over, guys. Car's finished. Thank you for watching. Coming out to El Salvador. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next video. Peace. Share, like, subscribe.
Yo, 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 yo.